Professor Ratnaji explained that industry apathy is there. I don't necessarily agree with her. The titans of industry have very limited time. We as a state have to be proactive. We have to deliver on the speed. We shouldn't waste their time. Only then will they be willing to invest time to help us transform our entire curriculum. So APSHI should work even harder than they are, including the chairperson, to involve the industry in terms of bringing in the requirements, changes to the curriculum. Research and innovation is the second pillar. Each university COE must host incubators, patents and startup hubs. It's very, very important that we also tie up with other global universities. I've had an opportunity to be to Australia. Recently I visited quite a few universities in a very short time I was there. It's fascinating to see the kind of research that's happening there and how each university over a period of time has developed deep understanding and deep research in a sector. So a great example of this is a New South Wales University, which is, while it offers courses across sectors, their specialization is in solar cell. And I saw a 10,000 square feet rapid prototyping center, which was quite inspiring. And we are going to bring it to IIT Tirupati. We're already in touch with them to sort of look at how can we now bring collaboration between industry, academia and research together. So I think this is very, very important for all of us to work. The third pillar is our digital future skills. AI, quantum, semiconductors, green tech, robotics are here. But as Selvam has said, please don't outsource your creative thinking to ChatGPT or Gemini. While trivial tasks, we can use it. To be fair, please don't replace your creative thinking or critical analytical thinking using ChatGPT or AI tools. Internationalization is something that was discussed threadbare. It is very important to have tie-ups with global institutions because what they offer is exposure. What they offer is alternative thinking. This, I believe, is very, very important if India has to deliver on its $30 trillion mission. Inclusivity and regional balance is the other very, very important subject, and this is something very core to the heart of this administration. While Amravati is our capital and there's a lot of work, I'm sure all of you would appreciate, now that rains have subsided and we are able to restart all the works here in Amravati. But for us, all regions and all parts of the states are equally important. But what we have done is a very focused clusterization. So if you look at Anantapur, it's the automotive hub. Kurnool is the renewable energy hub. There's a lot of cement manufacturing coming in that zone because they have limestone. Electronics manufacturing is coming between Kadapa and Chittoor. A lot of work is happening in compressed biogas in Prakasam district. Erstwhile Nellore district is already diversified. All of you will be surprised to know 50% of India's air conditioning is manufactured here in Andhra Pradesh. We've signed with LG, Daikin and Blue Star. We're going to take this to 70%. Imagine one cluster, 70% of India's air conditioning is going to come. Compressed biogas, as I said, in Prakasam. Here in Krishna Guntur is capital. We have quantum now coming and we have few other industries coming here. East-West Godavari districts are exceptionally well known for their fisheries and we're working hard to take that forward. North Andhra is going through its own transformation. It's going to be $1 trillion ecosystem, starting with a pharma hub, chemical hub, medical devices manufacturing hub, to a steel city. I thought we'll be building one new steel city. It looks like we're going to build 2 new steel cities in Visakhapatnam. And the entire data ecosystem, IT ecosystem that's getting built out there. Why am I sharing this with you is we believe in the power of vertical and horizontal integration in each of these clusters. So let me take an example of your mobile phone. All of you are taking pictures, so I thought that was apt. You have a screen, you have a camera lens, you have a lithium-ion battery in it, you have a haptic engine in it. All these are roughly manufactured by about 1,000 suppliers. And our vision here in the state is to bring these 1,000 suppliers to that cluster and build a thriving ecosystem. So looking at it from an end-to-end perspective, that's what I call verticalization. And horizontal is where my department, HRD, comes in. Curriculum, skill development, testing of equipment, and third thing is certification of this equipment. So when I met the Blue Star leadership, they said we manufacture 50% of India's air conditioning, but if I have to get a heat pump certified, I have to send it all the way to Germany. And why is that the case? Why are they not here? And you want to make it a 70% ecosystem, then we need to bring in the entire certification here to India and to this particular cluster. So what you're going to see in the next 3.5 years is a tight integration between our vertical and horizontal approach, and we'll create a thriving cluster in each of these zones. And I would like to thank CI for their continued support, but I would also like to request CI that they need to run at the pace of the Andhra Pradesh government. We've done consultative committees. We have a sense of urgency. Andhra Pradesh was, exactly 18 months back, not in the radar of any investment or investor coming to India or even in India. But today we have attracted close to $120 billion worth of investments already. And the partnership summit that we're hosting 14th, 15th in Visakhapatnam, we're hoping to close another $120 billion investment. By the end of our term, as we go for re-election in 2029, I have a vision that we can attract $1 trillion worth of firm commitment. So these are investments that obviously will not get done in the year that they're signed, but they will start. So if you look at ArcelorMittal project, it takes 7 years for all 3 phases to be implemented, but $15 billion will get invested in that project. If you look at the Google Data City, it's $15 billion that will get invested in 3 years. So we will bring $1 trillion worth of investment here to Andhra Pradesh, but I would request CI to run at the pace of Andhra Pradesh government so that we can work collaboratively, we can look at changes proactively, and we are here not to waste your time. We are here to take your input and implement it to make sure that the Andhra model of collaboration is truly implemented in spirit. So industries should co-design curriculum. I think that's something that all of us touched upon. Universities should host industry labs. So I'd request WIT also. I know quantum computer is coming here, but I think we should look beyond even quantum and few other areas that we can sort of engage with. And of course, as a government, we are here to provide an enabling framework, a policy framework that is not rigid, that is not tight. Madam Ratnaji did mention the importance of cross collaboration, humanities working with computer science. I agree with Madam because I am a product of it. My bachelor's is in information systems, but in Carnegie Mellon it was not part of the computer science school. It was part of humanities and social science. So where 50% of our curriculum was about managing people, projects, execution, timelines, and 50% was only on technical programming, coding, and so on and so forth. So I think we have to, as state, as APSHI, we have to be a lot more flexible, lot more proactive. Our policies have to be very, very proactive to ensure that this kind of collaboration can actually be achieved. And yes, together with all the youngsters in this room, we will make India proud. Honestly, I'm tired of hearing about Beijing, Shenzhen, Tianjin. It is time to hear about India's models. We have a gift city, we have Amravati, we have our own models that will thrive over the next decade. And together, all of us here can make it a reality. If we have to achieve this, if we have to make this a reality, the most important thing that all of you need to have is fire in your belly. You need to have it. As a government, we will provide the framework. As educationalists here, they will provide world-class education here. Skill development will be provided. But one thing we cannot give is fire in your belly. You need to have it. You need to set tall goals and you need to go chase those tall goals. When this government came in, we didn't expect to achieve $120 billion worth of investments in such a short time. To be fair, that is equal to the investments in the last 10 years of Andhra Pradesh history. Last 10 years. But then we are not happy. We said we can do even better, we can do even more. And that is why we're chasing it. That's because we have fire in our belly, and it's important that you have fire in your belly. And dream big. People around you will laugh. People around you will make fun. But if you don't dream, you really cannot achieve what you want to achieve. If we don't dream, we cannot make India a developed nation. So dream big, but then care to achieve. You have to be meticulous, you have to focus on your execution and ensure you put in the time that is required to deliver it. And honestly, life is not a destination, it's a journey. It's important that we constantly learn. You constantly expose yourself globally on what's happening. Enrich your knowledge, work together and build a collaborative environment. And life is never a straight line. The highs are very high, the lows are very low. If there's anyone who's gone through it, it is me. In 2019, when I contested in my constituency, which my party only won in 1985, I lost. A lot of people made fun of me, but I didn't care. I said my goal is set. I am going to go about achieving it. 5 years I worked hard. I didn't leave it. I refused to accept defeat. And 2024, I won it with one of the highest majority in Andhra Pradesh history. Life is not fair, but then keep at it. Only if you work hard, you can achieve the targets that you set yourself out to achieve. And Partnership Summit is one forum. I know that quite a few partners here are coming. We should engage, we should exchange ideas. And definitely my goal is very simple. Strong states is strong nation. When states compete, India wins. So we will compete with Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana and all other states, including Gujarat. And I'm sure India as a country will win. And the most important thing, I would like to request APSHI, WIT, to all our partners here, that speed is of the essence. It's no longer about big versus small. It's about slow versus fast. Today, Andhra Pradesh is able to ground so many projects. It's sheerly because we take it upon ourselves to ensure that speed is delivered. Only then we can achieve what we want to achieve. I know that curriculum changes are not easy. I know that there's always will be a lot of resistance. But I would like to request the titans of the academia also to approach the subject with open mind. What we have done so far has worked for us. I'm not saying it's not worked for us. But I don't believe it is enough to take us to our $30 trillion goal. So we have to have open mind. We have to embrace changes a lot more proactively. All the HODs have to look inward into their own departments. See how we can sort of improvise. It could be a transformation or it could be reforms. But we have to do it. There's no second thought about it. So I request all of you to embrace speed and definitely make Andhra Pradesh proud. And all of you are part of history. You know, when I was growing up, because everyone here is quite younger than I am. So when I was growing up, I saw Hyderabad develop in front of my eyes. I was jokingly saying, I've seen every part of Outer Ring Road get developed in front of my eyes. I remember how we used to crib that there was no connectivity to Shamshabad airport back then. But today it's of course very well connected. You're exactly seeing that magic happen in front of you here in Amravati.